Hi guys, welcome to our latest Whiteboard Friday. Today we are going to talk about how to build insightful website with resources in hand.
Most business owners are clueless or do not have a proper idea when they want to come up with a new website or when they want to revamp the existing website. Today we want to talk to you guys about how you can use the 10 heuristic principles to start designing or redesigning your website.
In today's session, we are going to talk about what is heuristic and 10 principles of heuristics. Finally, go beyond heuristics.
When you look at this image behind us, do you think it's a very well done railway or are there any problems? It's very difficult to tell that at a glance. You need expertise, you need people who know this subject very well to figure out if this is a very good model or how this can be improved.
Similarly, if business owner wanted to do very insightful data-driven website, he might need a lot of research. Like he want to do intent analysis and also he want to do customer market analysis. Finally, he want to do behavioral analysis plus experience analysis. To do this all of the analysis, he might need resources or he might need to outsource those researchers to outside parties. But for most of the cases, business owner don't have such resources to allocate or they don't have time. In that case, you can follow heuristic to start with because heuristic will give you best guidance to build a website with limited resources.
When you look at this image behind us, it's very obvious that this is a failure and it's not going to work. We understand this because of experience. We know that this kind of staircase is never going to work. Similarly, there are heuristics or there are these rule of thumbs that has been practiced over the years from specialists and they have learned that what a website should look like.
Heuristic number one. In heuristic number one, you should be able to showcase where the users are and users should be able to understand what are the pages they are in. For example, you can include breadcrumbs to the website. By including breadcrumbs, user can know where they are and also they can go back to the upper layer. The second part is that you should show the page title. If you can give meaningful page title to the page, user will know that what is the page and what the page content in high level. Third element is that you need to highlight selected menu. By highlighting selected menu, user can actually find out where they are heading through navigation. Then next element is that you need to showcase progress bar. In a shopping cart, showing progress bar is very important so that they can understand how many steps they went through and how many steps they had to complete. Finally, all the forms you have, you need to showcase thank you page. By showing a good thank you page, people will know they successfully completed the form or they successfully completed desired action.
The second heuristic is that the website should speak the user's language. For example, we had this use case where even though the website used the word dress, people were searching for the word frock. So what we did was we actually changed it to frock so that it will resonate with the audience and it will make sure that it has that heuristic element.
Third heuristic is that you need to give control and freedom to the user. You shouldn't force anything to the user because some websites we have seen they push or they force to do some elements, but it will annoy and distract your customer.
One of these key things or one of the most common mistakes is not making a very clear close bar on the pop-ups. So what happens is you have a pop-up and you can't close it and you get very frustrated and there is a chance that your user might not return back. A similar thing is that autoplay of videos. You go to a website and videos start playing automatically and you don't know where to stop the video, where it's playing. So you need to make sure that the user can find where to pause that video, stop it or close it. Another common mistake that happens is automatic carousels. These carousels start shifting here about and you can't really stop it, you can't control it, you can't view a specific slide that you want to view. So make sure that you give control to these carousels and make sure that they are clickable and you can view whatever the slide that you want at your wish.
Fourth heuristic is that you need to maintain site consistency. For example, if your site has multiple microsites for multiple sections, then you need to maintain the same navigation because if you choose to differentiate navigation or the layout, then it is a new learning curve for your customer so that maintain the same consistency across all your website, it will actually help your customer to move section to section without any frustration.
The fifth heuristic is about taking precautionary measures to prevent errors. For example, let's say you have a form, and if you have given a telephone number, you need to make sure that it can only type in numbers, that it doesn't allow any letters to type in, so it prevents the error. Similarly, it's also important to have search boxes. So if somebody is going through a wrong navigation and going to end up on a wrong product, it will make sure that the person will stop the navigation and go to the search and find what they want, and will have a better experience. It is also very important to distinguish between the primary call to action and the secondary call to action. Why it's important is that, let's say if somebody wants to buy something and the primary call to action is not clear, the user will end up spending so much time and will not be able to achieve the objective as well. So make sure that you make a clear distinction between the primary and the secondary call to actions. Heuristic number 6 emphasizes on the importance of making the website being able to recognize than making it being able to recall. What this means is, you need to understand where you are and what you are doing rather than remembering everything that needs to be done.
So, as the first element, you can use accordions. Accordions help users to understand where they are. For example, if you have a FAQ or 5 different FAQs, then you can simply use accordions so that user can expand what they want and they will know where they are without recalling. And then you can use sticky menu for your main call to action, so that user don't want to scroll through the website to find your main call to action to contact you or maybe to purchase something from you. Finally, you can add or you can change colors of visited link so that user know what are the links they visited before they click on next navigation menu. Google also use similar kind of heuristic. If you search on something and you click on links, you can see the click links with different colors, so that you can easily figure out what are the click links and also what are the links you have to click. Seventh heuristic is that you need to give prominence to most used functions or most used features in your website.
For example, you need to make sure that you only have a couple of call to actions above the fold. And similarly, you need to think of your returning visitors and have a courtesy button. Like for example, you can have a certain button for returning visitors only, so that they can easily go and do the task that they came to do. It is important to make sure that you have the popular links and also the links that has been recently viewed for a user, so that their user experience will improve and they can use the site more effectively.
Eighth heuristic is that you need to use aesthetic and minimalistic web design, because Google survey or Google research found that we have only limited time span before we judge the website. So that use very simplistic or minimalistic web design so that user can easily figure out your offering and also your objective of the website.
Heuristic number 9 is entirely based on making sure that the user can recover from errors easily, so that they would not be frustrated and they can continue their journey. One such example is when you are entering the email address, and if you have typed an email address that doesn't have an @ which is not an email address, you can give a real-time feedback saying that there needs to be a certain character in the email. You can, when people are signing up for new accounts, you can easily do that for password, and you probably would have seen it very frequently as well.
Final heuristic is that we need to provide help and documentation, because if someone within your website he can't find anything he wants, then he can simply contact you or he can go through documentation. As the first element, you can apply live chat support so that he can simply chat with you and he can find what he wants. Secondly, you can add FAQ. If he can't find anything on your website or he is reluctant to chat with you, then he can go to the FAQ and solve his problem.
You can also use co-browsing tools. Co-browsing is where you can view the user's website through one of your agents, and you can guide your user through the website so they can convert faster or they can find what they're looking for. So this is one of the latest technologies, and it's something that you can really use to improve your conversions. So these heuristics, the 10 heuristics, will give you a starting place if you have no idea where to start. in terms of start building a new website or even revamping a website. Now let's look at, after we are done with the heuristics, once these foundational things are done, how we can move on to building a website with a lot of insights.
Once you have good understanding with the heuristic, you can actually start building website. But if you want to build very complex or very comprehensive website based on your customers and your persona, then you need to follow our IRD framework. IRD framework simply explains you need to start with customer intent. To understand customer intent, you can first need to understand your business objective. Then you can go to understand customer intent and their mindset and their persona and everything related to customers. And also you need to understand your competitors and their intent on their offering. And as the second stage, you need to look at behavior. To look at behavior, you can go through your web analytics, or you can do experience analysis using surveys, interviews and focus group analysis. Finally, you need to come up with design science related to buttons, colors and icons on your website and navigations or psychological theories. This is the way you should do if you want to do very granular or very comprehensive website, and also it need lot of resources and lot of time of your team.
So we did a very detailed video on the IRD framework and how you can use analytics and you can use insights to build a web design a couple of weeks back. Make sure to check that out as well. Hope this video has been valuable to you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.